Welcome back, panelists here. Anna Palmer, co-founder of Punchbowl News, Democratic pollster Cornell Belcher, the former governor of North Carolina, Pat McCrory, and the bureau chief here in Washington for USA Today, Susan Page. Susan, you're a Kansas native.
I am.
And you even said you didn't leave the state until you went to college.
It was a shock.
So you know this. Speaking of shocks, Kansas native Susan Page, how shocked were you?
I was shocked.
Okay.
I was surprised. Maybe not necessarily that the amendment went down, but the margin of the victory was, I thought, quite stunning. And it was a sign that, Kansas is a conservative state for sure. It's a state that is very reliably Republican when you look at the presidential race. But it's also a state with a populist history and an independent streak. Just consider this. Of the last 10 elected governors in Kansas, 5 of them have been Democrats, including the current one.
It's an amazing stat. You shared it earlier. That is one of those that people are going to go, oh, maybe I didn't understand Kansas the way I should have.
Yeah. It's a pragmatic state. It is a conservative state. I tell you, this was a shock to people I talked to in my home state on both sides of this issue.
Yeah. Eisenhower, Bob Dole, there is a similarity there. Pat, your reaction. How shocked were you?
Maybe this proves that the Supreme Court was right in returning the decision back to the states and clarifying exactly I'm a constitutional conservative who believed in overturning Roe versus Wade and letting the states make the decisions. Kansas made a decision, and it probably represents what the majority of Kansas people believe, and that's what the Supreme Court majority said should happen. Now the dilemma is this, and this is part of the game. Every Republican and Democrat who just got through a primary had filled out surveys either by Planned Parenthood or by a pro-life group, which they put their absolute answers on. Because I have had to fill out these surveys where are you for or against in absolute measures. And every person who's running for office has filled out one of those surveys. Now, all of a sudden, you even see Stacey Abrams kind of clarifying her remarks. And I guarantee there's a survey somewhere out there where she did absolute in order to win a primary to begin with. And this is the dilemma for all the politicians on the right and the left. The people are not on the absolute side. And you heard that from the Congresswoman from South Carolina, too. The people are in favor of some restrictions, but reasonable restrictions. And that's going to be the interesting debate at the state and possibly federal level. The Republicans on my side are a little hypocritical right now because they said return it to the states. Then a day later, they said let's have a federal legislation. I think they're going to be backing off.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Mitch McConnell regrets that remark. I don't know, Anna.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of senators don't want this issue, but they feel like they're getting pressure now to have these kind of rules that are and kind of bills that are going to be mandates. And if you're Democrats, this is the gift that keeps on giving. The culture wars have shifted on abortion in a way that, I mean, I remember getting into reporting almost 20 years ago and George W. Bush trying to have constitutional amendments and different state amendments so that they could try to turn out and gin up voters. Democrats are going to use it this time all the way to the election.
You think?
I mean, Cornell, you're the party of the. The party of the cultural.
Wearing the white suit.
The party of the cultural issues now. I mean, if Stacey Abrams wins, she's going to win on guns and abortion.
Well, but so here's the thing. I love it that the governor's arguing process because he knows you're arguing process in politics. It's a problem. Look, Chuck, you and I have talked about this conversation. I've been on this show and I said the moment that suburban moms. They're voting on abortion on the right. But the moment that suburban moms think that their right to choose is going to go away, it's going to become a voting issue, and it could change the dynamics and that's what you're seeing. It's not only the turnout you saw in Kansas. Right now, we're getting poll after poll that shows the motivation up. Look, 6 months ago, I thought there was a lot of signs along the road here that looked like 2010. For someone who sat in 2010. A part of the Obama team, it looked like 2010 going in. It doesn't look like that now. If you look at the enthusiasm for younger voters, you look at the enthusiasm for women voters, in July of 2010, African-Americans, 29% of African-Americans said that election was more important than the past. As of last week, 60% of African-Americans say that this election is more important than past elections. They have given us, they've awoken a sleeping giant with this issue.
You may have peaked too early. I think we're going to go back to the economy, immigration.
It is interesting. Corey Bliss, who I really respect a lot on the right side of the Republican strategist, he's convinced of your theory that no, this will revert to the norm.
Hey,
this feels different, Susan.
You know why it's not going to fade away, and we'll go back to the economy. Economy will be important, no question about that. But people are going to be reminded every day about this issue because states are taking action.
Look at Indiana.
We saw Indiana
Right,
this weekend. And also these stories that we see about the repercussions of the Supreme Court decision are going to be on the front pages of newspapers. Who does not know the story of the 10-year-old girl raped in Ohio, forced to go to Indiana to get an abortion? That is going to keep this issue front and center.
Unintended consequences are going to keep trickling out. This does not go away. The economy is a top issue every election cycle. Every election cycle is the economy. But freedom is on the ballot now, and it's becoming not a
The
referendum.
dilemma for the Republicans, too, in state houses. The Senate and houses, both the Senate and House seats in state legislature are gerrymandered, unlike the U.S. Senate. And therefore, they're worried about the primaries. But now that the primaries are over, I do not think you'll see a lot.
And I get a sense that in this issue, too many Republican elected officials thought that their pro-life constituents were more mainstream than they actually were. Because Roger Marshall's reaction to this, where he's just like, the Kansas senator, he's like, I can't believe this. It's like, wow, you didn't believe your own polling? Like, if you polled this, you would have known where Kansas voters were.
Right. I mean, I think you have these politicians that have these kind of more extreme positions and have really staked out those claims. Plus, you have these outside groups for 50 years who have been pushing this issue, finally got what they wanted, Roe versus Wade, and now they're moving the whole ball into a whole other game.
What is pro-life now? Define what a pro-life, and I say this, like, I heard Nancy Mace say, I'm pro-life. Well, some pro-lifers say, if you want the exception she wants, you're not pro-life. What is the definition anymore?
I think both sides are. What is pro-choice is going to be another question. Stacey Abrams was giving you a transition from pro-choice. I think what you're going to see is some reasonable guidelines of what abortion is. But be careful, Democrats, on this issue. Don't overplay your cards. Because on surveys, people are still more conservative on the abortion issue, but they aren't willing to go to the extreme.
Can I get one quick thing? One quick thing. When you win with 6% in Kansas, it's not just Democrats. And what you see in polling is that some Republican women, they may not be pro-choice, but they don't like the ideal of the government taking away their choice.
Do they become single-issue voters, though?
I think they do.
Okay, right. And that's what we're going to find out. I think that will tell us a lot.
Or stay home.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.